We're going to discuss a little bit more about vectors in this short little video. Um, the unit we're working in is 214, calculating force vectors. And if you would go there, you can scroll down a little bit to the resources. And if you click on this force vectors link, you would download a PowerPoint, which I'm going to go into now. So if you ever want to go back and review or something, you can. For the first part of your assignment here for calculating vectors assignment 2, it's going to ask you about some qualities and quantities of vectors that they show you. So let's start right here. First of all, every vector has quantities, which means it's measurable. What is measurable? Its magnitude, how strong it is, and also the direction, what position it's in. Those are things that we can quantify and actually give numbers to, as you're going to see in a second. If you were going to describe a vector in a sentence or in an equation, it's usually represented here by the name of the point of the vector, and the arrow above it designates that, oh, this is vector A, this is vector B. So what are these measurements that we give them? Well, first of all is magnitude. And magnitude measures the unit that we are covering with the vector. In this case, it's length, and it says the length of this is right here is magnitude 3 because there's 3 segments. Well, we usually don't think about that, but it could be 3 feet. It could be 3 meters. It could also be a force. It could be 3 pounds or 1,000 newtons. But magnitude is going to represent the power or the force or the length of that vector. We're not going to use units too much till we get to the end answers, so we're not going to fret about units, but we do know that every vector is going to be given a magnitude, or we will have to find its magnitude. The second thing that every vector has is a direction. And here you can see this vector is drawn 30 degrees off of the positive x-axis. You have to start visualizing these vectors. In fact, I'm going to scroll down a little bit and show you what I mean. On your xy coordinates. And so the vector that we're going to look back in a second would start right there at 0, 0, and it goes up 30 degrees to the right. So let me jump back here. So you can see this is 30 degrees up from the positive x-axis. So when you're describing the direction of a vector, you have to be very specific. You just can't say it's 30 degrees from the x. That means it could be 30 degrees below the x. So this one is described as 30 degrees counterclockwise from the positive x-axis. There's no doubt about where that vector should be drawn. So far we have a vector that's magnitude is 3 units and its direction is 30 degrees counterclockwise from the positive x. And the last thing that we have to indicate about a vector is its sense. And a sense is indicated by the tip of the arrow, which way is it going. And there's this we're not measuring, we're just describing it. So this one is going upward and to the right. Again, if you think about your xy coordinates, this vector here is going up and to the right. This one is going down and to the right. This one is going down and to the left. And this one is going up and to the left. So anything on the negative x is going to be to the left, to the positive x to the right. If it's going to be up, it's going to be positive y, and anything in a negative y is going to be down. So those are the 3 quantities that you're going to be asked in the assignment to describe some vectors. You got to give its magnitude, and again, that could be in newtons, in feet, in meters, in pounds, in whatever unit it might be. You need to give its direction, and you got to be very specific, saying how many degrees it is from which axis, and is it counterclockwise or clockwise from that axis. And you also need to be able to give the sense of it. Is it up and to the right, down and to the right? So when someone reads that, it'll give them a visual representation of what it is.